Coming to you from my basement in beautiful Chicago, this is LesCast. I am your host, Amanda Costner, and we are recapping the L Word Generation Q, Season 3, Episode 3, and as usual, it was a freaking crazy episode. With me today, breaking the episode down, is a very good friend of mine. I had the pleasure of performing with her together in Minneapolis and St. Paul as a comedy musical duo back in the day called Champagne Jamboree. She is an improv and stand-up teacher, a producer, a host, as well as being an advocate for LGBTQ rights. Please welcome to the show, Sarah McPeck.
Hey, everyone. Hello, Amanda. I love you so much.
Love you right back. Also, I have to give you props on what is like one of my great, one of the happiest days of my life, which is when you told me that you beat cancer. And I'm just so happy to be here discussing this like cheesy, dramatic lesbian TV with you, cancer free.
It's amazing. And every day is just like, I'm so excited about everything. Nothing is really bringing me down right now. And
Not even the downfall of Danny and Gigi.
I mean, whatever. That was just never gonna make it anyways. It was a blip on the radar, and it was a fun blip. And you know what? It might come back around, but
ooh, okay.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get into it.
And I do have to say, what a pleasure it is to have you on and combine two of my favorite things, the L word and Minnesota accents.
Oh, Amanda, it's great. That L word, those girls, they get a little spicy, but
I'm so ready for the hot dish commentary.
Hot dish, hot takes.
Now that's a podcast name. I'm loving it. Okay, so just for our listeners, can you give me a brief background? Are you a newer fan of the show, or did you watch the OG series when it was airing?
Yeah, for sure. I'm 100% OG. I was married to a man when I heard about this show. When I knew it was coming on, I bought cable for the first time. I didn't have cable. I wasn't like rich, but I paid the $35 to Amory Telecom for my Showtime subscription. And I feel like it used to be on Monday nights. And I could be wrong, but on Monday nights, I would be like, everyone needs to be out of this house. And I would make my husband take the kids like to the park or something because I needed my time like alone. So,
yep.
yeah.
I totally identify when I probably already realized it, but like the L word was just the first thing I watched when I was like, I think I'm a little bit gay. So I totally get it.
A little bit gay. I hope your readers or listeners or fans, like this girl was a pro golfer.
Just a little gay.
And looked like a total hot tomboy. The
Keep
whole
going.
time. And, would like be joking about giving blowjobs all the time with her other cohorts. And
never given a one. Yeah.
Took her a while.
Well, preacher's daughter. Preacher's daughter. So.
Preacher's daughter, yeah. Preaching the good word.
Well, we have a lot to discuss, so I say let's just jump right into the episode.
Yeah.
We start off to the relief of many with Gigi not dying.
Yes, that was very dramatic. I wondered if we were going to have like something huge. But we didn't.
I am a little surprised they didn't kill her off, but maybe they learned after like Dana.
She's way too hot. She's way too hot to be killed off. That's not happening.
So there's like if she was like a little less hot, you think they would have?
I think there could have been a chance. Yeah, I mean, not all these characters are winners. We could probably cut one out if we had to. If we had to.
Okay. Well, she did die. she's in the ambulance and
Yep.
Nat shows up because Nat is
Mhm.
her emergency contact.
Mhm.
Keeping your ex-spouse as your emergency contact. I can't tell if this is normal or not. Like, does it
I
depend on how
for
messy
me,
the divorce
yeah.
was? It was for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a woman of a certain age, and have had a spouse, or 2, and, yeah, I've left on my ex as my emergency contact until I have another significant other, unless in one instance they went batshit crazy, and then my dad became my
Okay.
emergency contact.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's really about, do they go batshit crazy? And
Right.
then you can't leave the
Yeah.
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 What did you think of the big EMT guy bumps into Nat and she falls onto Gigi's lips scene?
But did he really bump her?
I mean, they showed
I
him
mean,
being like, "Oops," or I don't know what they did.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, he did bump her, but all I'm saying is I don't think it took a big push.
Well, and then she just, like, kept going, doubled down.
She doubled down, and, like, I've been in that situation before. I can't say maybe like, I don't think it means that necessarily she was thinking about it, but when you do have love for someone, they share children together, and you're worried that they're injured or they could be dead, and you see them, like, I could see yourself just, like, forgetting for a second, like, where your relationship boundaries are and going for it.
Yeah,
And it
she was
felt good,
definitely
and she kept moving that forward.
Can you blame her? Can you
No,
blame her?
absolutely not.
The event this episode revolves around is the Alice Show's big 100th episode.
Mhm.
Sarah, did you catch I wanna play this line specifically for
I
you.
know what it is.
And no improvisers of any kind.
Yeah, that last one's very important.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. I was, like, attacked.
No improvisers, but
No
can't you
improvisers
understand
of
it?
any kind. You know what? Like, I kind of get it. Like, I know it can be a little over the top. And can I have a word of suggestion? Um, but ultimately, I mean, whatever,
Always
Alex.
yes-anding.
I'm coming for you.
Okay, what's worse, improvisers or stand-up comedians who are always on?
Definitely stand-up comedians that are always on, 100%.
I'm
Improvisers are just huge nerds that have a lot of love in their hearts.
aw, like, that's a really sweet description, but
You
also
cannot say
sometimes
that about stand-up comedians, including us.
I'm just thinking of one specific comedian we both know that I will not name, who I remember every time I saw her, she would be testing her material out on me, and I'd be like, "Wait, I thought this was a real conversation, and now you're testing your material out?"
I know exactly who you're talking
I know you
about.
know who I mean.
And, so yeah,
Oh, Sarah, our listeners, they're so confused.
yeah. No, no, and, Alice, she can have her opinion, that's fine. Everyone is allowed their thoughts.
Well, in this episode, we meet our next famous guest star of the season,
Mm,
which this season has been filled with guest stars.
it's amazing.
And we meet a character played by Joey Lauren Adams.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Um, Taylor, what do you think of this coupling or potential coupling?
Okay, so I'll be honest, like when I was the potential coupling, I'm okay, I'm for it. Again, Alice seems really into her.
Mhm.
And I think this person seems very grounded and kind of not like allured by fame or this or that. She just wants a free t-shirt and she seems very settled. And Alice, especially like throughout all the seasons, but especially since this L word has started, she has seemed to be like all over the place in like every scene in my mind. So I'm for it. I'm also a big fan of Joey and her voice. I'm a fan.
Sexy.
I'm a deep
Sexy.
fan.
Can you what is it? It's like, "Oh, was. Yeah, I don't know if I should go out. I don't know. I'm struggling here. I love it. It's
Yeah,
hot.
I can't do it either. I have a very like contralto, like manly voice. But yeah, now I know other women who are like, oh my God, I hate her voice, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, really? Are you sure you're gay?
No, yeah, I think it's sexy.
Like Jennifer Tilly, same thing.
Okay, I'm having to look up Jennifer Tilly.
Bound.
Oh, yeah,
Amanda,
that
have
was a
you not seen Bound?
okay, no, several of my subscribers have asked me to review Bound, and that is on my list. No, I have not seen it yet. I'm guilty. Oopsie.
Okay, just because you grew up in Oklahoma and we're a preacher's daughter, I'm going to give you a pass
Okay.
on this, but
Okay.
I am going to circle back before the end of 2023 and make sure that you watch.
Thanks for keeping me honest, Sarah. I
Yes,
appreciate that.
yes.
Yeah, the Jennifer Tilly, yeah, they both have that deep, like, I don't think this is why they have that voice, but it's like, oh, they just smoked a pack of cigarettes, and it's like, oh yeah, like, oh,
Smoked a pack of cigarettes, but somehow it's still like high.
hmm
It's
right.
lovely. It's delicious.
Ooh, delicious is a
Not,
great adjective.
I'm not mad.
Well, next we get what I will say, without a doubt, has to be the most memorable scene of the episode. We get Shane and Finley dancing to Genuine. Sarah, I went out
Okay,
onto the internet and there are a lot of people who are not into this scene. They thought it was like cringe.
okay. I think that I can speak for both parties
Okay.
here because I wouldn't say that I necessarily found it cringe, but I can see where that is coming from. I thought a lot about the scene actually, because you don't often, I guess what I realized is you don't often get, a song like Genuine Pony. And I have to let you know, Amanda, that as soon as I saw that, I thought about you because
Sarah, no, let me stop you because I have a little something that I would like to play. So I mentioned at the top of the podcast that Sarah and I were in a comedy musical
no.
duo called Champagne Jamboree, and we have a special connection to the song. I just want to play this clip of us performing
Oh my
live.
God, yes.
And we are singing a song about a lesbian couple going on a trip to Bemidji, Minnesota. Let me just get this going for our listeners. This is going to be a real
Yes.
gem. This is going to be a real gem.
Honey, that's sweet. And when we go in, maybe we should hide that we're lesbians. Cause we're going to beautiful Bemidji, beautiful Bemidji, beautiful Bemidji. Babe, I love your music. You're horny, let's do it. Riding my pony. But if you don't mind, maybe we can talk since we've got nothing but time. Down to do that, I've been meaning to say the visa bill came in just yesterday.
Yeah. We actually reference Genuine again later in the song too.
Oh, yes. I think anytime that Genuine could be part of our act, it was. Amanda, I just had so much fun performing with you. That was so much fun to watch.
Me too.
I can't wait till Champagne Jamboree rides again. I just got like some new teeth due to a situation I had. And like for tonight, for some reason, all I can hear is me lisping. I feel like Carol Channing.
Well, it's not coming across on
So,
the microphone.
anyways, it's okay. So listeners, sorry I'm lisping a lot. I'm getting used to my new teeth.
I didn't notice
So-
anything, Sarah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's all I can hear is like,
Well,
"Hey,
I think
darling."
it's echoing back at you in your office, but it's not coming across on the mic.
All right, you're the best. You're so sweet. All right. Okay, so let's go back to this scene. First of all, may I
go
ask
ahead.
you what was your first hot take on it? Yay or nay? Give me 3 words to sum it up.
Hot, fun, hot.
Hot, fun, hot, for sure. And, I'm one of these women that, like, I either love, like, the tomboy aesthetic or, like, super high femme. And so, like, the tomboy lover in me, especially for Finley, I'll be honest, I think Shane's amazing. I get it. Never really done it for me. But, like, the Finley type,
Ooh, hot take.
yeah. I was there for that, especially like that ab moment where they really like zeroed in on the abs. But I thought it was hilarious. I love that it was lighthearted. I love that they were kind of sexualizing like more masculine presenting
Mhm.
women. And I think maybe those women that aren't into masculine tomboy type women, maybe they found it cringe, like, because we're not, what we're used to seeing as sexy is a little bit different, right? It's more like swiveling of the hips and
Like
boobs, and
Ivy.
this was a little more like, dude, like, but we're sexy dudes, and that's what I have to say about it. So I mean, I think it wasn't stylized. They were just kind of being themselves and being goofy together. And I think they really captured probably like what it would be like to like bro out together. So, you know,
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. Okay, in real life, are they really like coming together the way they did? Like, I don't think it was choreographed, but like some of it could have been choreographed when they just like their bodies meet at an angle and
well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there was direction there. I guess what I'm saying is it's not traditionally beautiful,
Mhm.
sexy women on a pole or, thong shots or, it's more like it really reminded me of Kevin Bacon in Footloose, to be honest with you. Like,
Yes!
that's the
Yes!
vibes it was
Yes!
giving.
That is so spot on. Yes!
Thank you.
Because he's, like, intense, but he's having
Yeah.
fun, and that is what they were. They were, like,
Mhm.
intense, but they were clearly having fun. Perfect analogy.
Thanks.
Of course, Tess walks in and ruins all the fun. Well, it's really Finn who ruins the fun because she hits the pipe, but, I have to admit, amateurs demoing, like, speaking of genuine, that is genuinely dangerous.
Yeah, I am in property management for a day job, and I was a little like, "Ooh, do you know how much that's gonna cost? And now we need to get out the water, dehumidifiers and cut out sheetrock." And
You're like, you really are, like, feeling that. Well,
but also, she really came in and like pissed all over their Wheaties, and they're definitely showing where the cracks in the relationship are.
yeah, that line where Shane says to Tess, "I'll just stay out of your way then." I'm assuming since Tess has been kind of begging Shane to buy the second bar, that Shane is the sole or mostly the sole financial backer for this second
Yeah,
bar.
seems like it.
Those dynamics are ooh, like having
It's
your main
tough.
investor feel like they, "Oh, just get out of my way." I don't know.
Hey, I never thought about it in that way, but that's absolutely true. If they weren't dating and that was your main investor, yeah, you wouldn't speak to them like that. And then again, that's the tricky part of like mixing pleasure and pussy. I'm recording in my
Indeed.
office at work, so I don't bring that up. Normally,
Uh,
I have no problem shouting that to the
from the rooftops, yeah.
yeah,
I know,
that's
Sarah.
perfect.
I know your love of that. Um, yeah, mixing business with pleasure, mixing because 'cause I'm thinking if they do break up, which I actually think the show might keep them together, but if they do, that's gonna be messy.
Oh, for sure. I'll be honest, I don't buy them as a couple.
You're not a chess, stan?
I mean, they just don't I don't get I don't get like a connection with them. I don't get energy between them, synergy.
No
I just have
chemistry.
never really felt them. I think both of them as characters are fine, and I think together they're fine. But I feel like um Shane kind of lost the love of her life and was in a pretty empty spot. And this person was right there. And, we've all been there where you serve a need, I serve a need, you serve a need, I serve a need. And we've really served a lot of needs, but really, maybe that's all we needed at that time.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe that's what you were for each other,
That's a good
not
point.
every relationship we're in is going to like make it to the end.
Yeah, statistically, it probably won't.
No, I think we all have to like have these, like, okay, I had that experience and it was great. And, letting go and breaking up is super hard no matter what. We're all humans. But,
Yeah.
and
But she
then
didn't break up with her. She cheated.
I was going to say there's a way to go about it. And that seems to be Shane's. I've been a little bit of Shane in some regards of where like, you want your cake and eat it too, but you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings and you get swept up. And I'm definitely not condoning cheating by any means. Like I just break up. Just break up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cheat on anyone. Like I will break up with you, but also like I'm pretty good at being direct and having those hard conversations, but I wasn't always.
Yeah, it is tough when you genuinely love somebody, but you want to genuinely do somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's
Well,
I don't know.
well, Danny makes sure Gigi is good to go. Speaking of, you should break up with somebody instead of continuing to hurt them. We're back at Danny and Gigi's, and it turns out Gigi has called Nat to come help her.
Oh yes.
What do you think of this storyline?
Well, I think it's honestly what really happens often, and it is hard to navigate those ex relationships. And honestly, like I don't really see a problem with it, but there was a time in my life where I would have had a problem with it. At this stage in the game, if I were that young hot girl, I can't remember her name.
Danny? Oh, wow. Ooh, the listeners are going to be raging. How can you not remember Danny? Are you not a Danny fan?
I am.
Oh, you are?
Again,
Okay.
gorgeous, beautiful, like nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
I'm just terrible with names. You're lucky I remember your name.
Oh, my name is quite forgettable. So,
But yeah, I mean, I think it's what really happens, especially when you've had a long-term relationship with someone, you've had children with them. I think she really enjoys this relationship with her, but also she's feeling pulled. And you do have those moments where you come back together, or maybe you think about things. And I like that they're doing it. I think it's an honest representation of what can happen.
you heard it, folks. Sarah McPeck here with the hot takes. She is team Gigi and Nat.
I don't know that I'm team Gigi and Matt, but I'm down like that they can explore whatever.
Okay, but what about the way she's doing it? It seems like really mean to Danny.
Okay, but is it mean to Danny? Like she had her come over to help her get changed. She didn't want her to be late for work. Huh?
Where's she going that she needs help getting ready? That's like clearly a ruse to me.
Okay, I never thought about that. I thought perhaps she had a doctor's appointment. Or didn't she have to be somewhere? Because she said that the car would be there at 3 to pick her up.
Well, I thought that was for the Alice show event, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, but then she would have to get ready for that, right?
You're right. She does have to get ready. Okay, you're totally right about that.
But is it a ruse to have her come over? Perhaps. I think she did want to talk about the kiss. So I think you're right. I think, I think that was okay. She wanted to talk to her about it. It wasn't like she was like, hey, will you come over and let's finger bang? Like.
So that's where your line is, Sarah?
That's where my line of demarcation is.
Finger banging.
Yeah. Okay, so that one I'll give. And I don't know, I don't know that either one of them planned this. So, know how things
Fair
can
enough.
just happen and boil and you don't know until you know. And maybe it was Danny kind of getting upset and feeling pushed and jealous about this. And I'm not saying I'm not on her side, but just like she was like, whoa, maybe we do need a second. Because also I've been there. I have children. I have exes. I have tried to date with having to deal with like my children and my ex and having like women be like, well, I don't want this and that, da 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 da. It's like, no, I had this life far before you came in here, and I'll be respectful of you, but also this relationship is a thing.
Mm. Okay, yeah, they do have to co-parent. I will say the Genie fans, some of them might have crashed their car at this point if they're listening while driving. They are raging.
They can rage. You know what? I love that you have an opinion, Gigi fans. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. I have been.
Well,
But
I think you have a
not
fair
usually.
point that it's different when you have kids with somebody. I just am on the other side of like, oh, you're clearly like trying to find out if you have feelings for your ex. And Danny just found like last season her wedding was interrupted, and on her wedding day she found out that her fiance was cheating on her, and like Danny has been struggling, and so I would want Gigi to have a little bit more care.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a perfect world, I agree. That would be great. I'm just playing on the side that I honestly don't think any of this was like pre-planned or malicious and they're just, going with it. I think it is I think again it's a pretty honest representation of how fast shit can go south.
Hmm.
Especially when there has maybe been some communication things that haven't got full circle on the circuit, which I think they've been struggling with like the baby mama,
Mhm.
you know, her giving permission for them to
Right.
live together. And I don't think that they were fully closed on that. So I think each other are kind of rubbing each other the both ways. Like, I'm only just going to say, I'm going to give Gigi the grace that I don't know that she went out to try to hurt her or to pre plan any of this.
I think you're right.
But now that these things have happened, now the next, how she handles it in the future. But I also see your point. Like, at our best, we all wish we could be, our best person and more gracious and, you know,
Yeah.
I know I'm not the salacious hot take soap opera. I wish I could really get on it. Sorry, Amanda.
Wait, what do you mean?
I hope it's okay. Like, I feel like I should be like, fuck her. Yeah.
No, listen,
I'm just
Sarah,
not that
you
type.
are here. I don't want you to say what everybody else is saying. I want you to say your genuine opinion. But I,
Okay.
as this host, I have to then acknowledge to the Genie
Yes,
stands that
please.
they are definitely not going to agree. But I don't want you to agree. I love what you're saying,
No.
and I think you're making great points.
I know you don't want me to agree. That was just the Minnesotan in me. I was getting nervous. I was stating
Minnesota nice.
too many opinions.
Well, we head to college where Angie realizes the guy she hooked up with in the last episode is her professor.
Oh my gosh. I thought she was adorable.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You
she's
know?
great.
Yeah, I think she's an amazing actress.
I
Yeah, I think
agree.
it's a fun twist. And like when I was in college, I had a few professor crushes or TA situations, and it's a dynamic, and it is one you have to.
I was going to ask you, this feels like a gray area because she's 18, and that if you're a professor, you're at least like, what do you think he's supposed to be? Like 25? Is he supposed to be younger?
Age-wise, I think it's a fine pairing. Even like as me being like a teacher of like improv that Alice doesn't like.
You are not going to forgive Alice for that.
My line would be like, I wouldn't date somebody while I was actively teaching them
Okay.
or flirt
Yeah,
with them.
because he's in a
Like
position of
after the
power.
class, I think, me and another teacher were just talking about this where it's like, hey, just so you know, I was your teacher. So it seems like you're interested, but if you're if you're interested, you're going to have to let me know. Otherwise,
Mm.
I'm just going to respect that. Or, you just start a relationship and just see what happens. I think that's okay. So I think he handled it well. And I'm interested to see what happens. And we'll see if she's like if she's more like Bet or like Tina. Because remember, Tina had a little TA situation
Oh, right.
where flip flopped back
Okay.
in the day.
I'm trying to remember. So Tina, was
Or
this
not
after?
Tina, Bet.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
when Bet was teaching and then she had that like student teacher? She was blonde. I know who she is, but I can't think of her name. But she wore like the suit with the cute little mini skirts and she was like
Wait,
had a
what was
nice
Bet
shape,
teaching?
blonde. She was, remember when she was like at the college, like, or as the dean or something? I think
Oh,
maybe
huh.
she was.
Hmm.
It was not the last season, but I think the season before. Anyways, we know Beck can be a little bit of a. I don't want to say hoe because I'm pro hoe, and I don't want to,
I'm pro ho too.
yeah. But she can go where her heart leads her.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes,
Like when it led her to Candace.
right?
Oh. Well, next we get a nice chart reference. The show quickly slips in a reference that Alice turned down Tom's proposal as well.
Hmm. Yes.
Now,
What
I am
happened?
pretty sure Donald Faison is going to come back for at least one episode. So I'm wondering if they're going to have Alice be with Taylor, played by Joey Lauren Adams, for a couple of episodes. And then I wonder if Alice and Tom are actually in game, but I'm probably wrong. That's just a guess.
That's a twist that I didn't even think about. Yeah, it could happen. I could totally see that happening. Like, I don't know if she's going to become like a cast member, or she could on a different, like Joey Lawrence Adams. She
Right.
could. But yeah, I could
No,
see that
she's just in 2
happening.
episodes, I think. Well, actually, I'm
Oh,
not sure.
okay.
Don't
Yeah.
quote me on that. That's just what I think, but I feel like with
I've
these guest
already
stars.
embroidered it on a dishcloth.
Damn it. Damn it.
So it's in now. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a fun little tryst. We'll see what I don't even know, like, what does her character do? I didn't quite understand why she was there. I've been in the middle of a move, so I've kind of been busy while I've been watching it.
She was the coffee barista for it seems like she owned the cart or
Okay,
she
that's what I was wondering. Was she like a caterer? Did she own her own business? Was
something
she
like that. I
okay?
imagine, like, in that world, she does different shows. She brings her cart on the studio lot or whatever to different shows
Okay.
maybe. Because also I know Alice used to, in the 1st and 2nd season, get coffee made for her on the show. Like, the show has a coffee bar, the Alice show.
Oh, okay.
But,
So, okay.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I also think from the trailer, Taylor, or maybe they decide together to start this. Like, I remember a line about them also seeing other people. So I wonder if Taylor is polyamorous.
Yes, I believe you are correct.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know. I think that is a very big possibility.
yeah, we'll see. It would be interesting, but also weird since they already went down that road last year and Alice was like, no, it's not for me. But also, it's
Yeah,
the L word. They'll do whatever the hell they want.
exactly. Yeah, and especially Alice.
Yes, yeah. Well, on we're on the set of the Alice show, and Shane brings Ivy some more of that famous hair gel. I mean, wow, they are getting a lot of mileage out of that hair gel prop.
Oh, of course they are. Like, I cannot tell you the ridiculous things I have done to like have an interaction with. But yeah, like I love the hair cream. It's so ridiculous and it's so on point with lesbianism. Like, give me a break. Like, oh my god, here's that thing that let's fuck.
What do
And
you think of Kelani so far in the
I
show?
mean, she's great. She knows herself. She's not shy. She's going to go after what she wants. Um, I think she's lovely.
I think this is Kaylani's like first big role, I want to say, and
Mhm.
I kind of think she's killing it.
Yeah, she seems very, like I said, like present with it, assured. You know, she doesn't seem too thirsty,
Yep,
and I
she's
think that's what
confident.
Shane likes.
Yes.
She told her, "No, you can't come in here." You
Yes,
know?
that intro. Oh, that's what
Yeah.
hooked Shane in.
Oh, for sure.
And then
Yeah.
in this episode, Ivy says to her, "Don't you want to hang back here? This is where all the fun is." And the
Yeah.
look on Shane's face, like Shane is just like, "What's fun?" Like she is needing some Ivy.
Yeah. I agree. I think Shane has just looked like she's been in pain, like, for, like, really, like, kinda awkward and not like herself. Like, Shane always seemed like just very chill and, unless they were on, like, some crazy bender, like, but she has not seemed like that. I don't know, I don't think. I think fun is what she needs now, and it's what we all wanted, right? I just talked Hey, shout out to Tiffany Beamer, of the Rebel Queens. We
Yo
just had
yo.
this conversation yesterday, and she was like, "I don't condone cheating, but Shane was not herself with her, and I loved every second of it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think it's what the fans wanted, for sure."
I I wanted it. I wanted it.
Yeah,
I didn't want it to be a tease. I was afraid they were teasing
right.
us and Shane wasn't really gonna go through with it, but she
Yeah.
went through with it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, there was I mean, you knew it was on, like, last season. I mean, a horse can change its stripes, spots, cow can change its spots, zebra can change its stripes, but I think, Shane is Shane, I think.
I think that's what the show is trying to tell us, but I have seen like, okay, on for instance, lesbian TikTok, people are saying one of the things that Gen Q seemed to do this in season 3 is a lot of the characters sort of reverted back to who they were in the OG
Mhm,
series. Like you mentioned Alice, chaotic dating, Shane,
mhm.
cheating, back to the will they won't they with Bet and Tina.
Yeah,
So it's kind of interesting that this, for their 3rd season, which like we don't know, like I'm thinking this could be the last season, like this is what they do. They go back to who they were.
yeah, it definitely could be. I mean, at some point, shows are on for too long, and things are already getting a bit convoluted in the storyline, like,
Mhm.
I don't wanna say convoluted, but there's a lot happening, it
Mhm.
feels like. Doesn't it feel like that?
Well,
Like,
yeah, and they
there's a lot
dropped so
of
many plot
stories, side
lines.
stories, this, it just seemed like there was a lot of that in the other one, but the art didn't seem quite so hurried. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. Well, at the big event, it's about to get started, and Nat brings Alice oranges while requesting champagne from Danny. What did you were okay with this too, with like, oh, they end up holding hands and stuff?
No.
Okay.
Um, I don't think that it was okay that they held hands, like, in a public space like that where other people could have seen them, where, like, she saw him, like, or them. Yeah, I think maybe, like, a brush of the hand where you both are like, "Okay, like, I'm kind of, like, letting you know," but, I think that I would be embarrassed if I were the other person and I saw that happening, and I don't think that part was right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be embarrassed too.
Mhm.
Back at the second bar, Tess has allowed Finn to stand in for her as Carrie's sponsor. Did you notice that when Carrie calls Finn Leo DiCaprio, Finn like mentions being on a gender journey?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she says
That
some.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think that I'm wondering if that's going to be part of Finn's storyline for this season.
Mhm. I could see that. Um, yeah, I could definitely see
Me
that.
too. Yeah.
I From somebody who has some history with support groups, I found it a really odd write-in that somebody would have someone else
Yeah.
sponsor someone like so quickly who hasn't really worked with them or just freshly is out of rehab. That probably wouldn't happen in real life. But, again,
I don't know. I feel like the show's portraying Tess as like not the greatest sponsor. Like she was
oh,
kind of
that
too
could be
busy.
too, Amanda. Yeah, I never thought about that. I think that's actually right. Yeah.
Hmm.
She's got a lot going on and she's dropping the ball here and there. And I can totally relate to being that person. Like, just to bring it back to me, uh,
Love it.
but coming back from cancer, like that's one thing. Like, I'm still like busy, as you know, like it seems like I'm busy, but for me, I feel it's managed. Like, I'm really trying not to say yes to anything that I can't give my full effort to, because I really was half-assing so much. And I don't want to be creating or doing anything if I'm half-assing it.
Same.
Occasionally you got to roll with the punches, and but I was doing that 75% of the time. It was just too
Oh.
stressful, and I wasn't even able to really think about my life. So, um,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Tess is like, she's like feeling guilty because she can't make Alice's show, but the reason she can't make it is this really beautiful moment she gets to have with her mother.
yeah,
And so it's interesting that you point out, oh, she's kind of running around everywhere. She's because she's so stressed, she ends up yelling at Shane.
hmm.
Maybe Tess didn't need the second bar.
It kind of seems like I can see like where something really is terrible in her life. Like her mom having dementia and like really wanting to like build something and not like focus on that. And I myself, like, again, like when I've really dealt with a lot of stressful or hard things, what has happened is I've become like a workaholic. Um, and
Mm.
so I can just, so I can see that being a response to kind of what's going on in her life.
That's
Yeah.
so interesting. I feel like when I'm stressed out, I understand the working, to not think, and I think I occasionally will do it, but actually sometimes if I'm really stressed out, I really struggle just like editing a video.
Mhm.
If I've scheduled something, I'll
Yeah.
do it, but I will kind of slow down my work when I'm struggling in my life.
Yeah. But if you slow down, then you have to pay attention. And if you don't want to
Mm,
pay attention to something, you can be real busy. And so I think it's like, what is the like impetus of like why you're doing what you're doing? Like for me, like when it's something I don't want to deal with, I'm super busy. That's why I think I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I think
no, you're
that's
right.
the
That's a great
difference,
point. Yeah.
yeah. And I think, it's a spectrum. We can do it. But, I can see her like kind of she's like her life is, she wants to focus on other things. She wants to build something that she can be proud of. Looks like she's had like a tumultuous life, and now she has this partner that, she has some money behind her. She can really dig into it, and she wants to like be super successful. And you can lose sight of a lot when you're doing that too. Yeah, I
Mhm.
can see that.
Yeah. Tess brings a plumber in to help, and she is a hot lady plumber who also
Shocking.
serves. I loved it. I loved it. I
Loved
mean,
it 100%. Thought it was fantastic casting.
yes. What do you
Yes.
think of her being the new love interest for Carrie, played by
I love
Rosie?
it. I
Me
love
too.
it. I think she's adorable. I believe them as a couple.
Yep.
I wanna see more of them as a couple. I wanna see Carrie be happy. I wanna
Yes.
see her kind of, like, step into her own and, like, feel strong and good about herself. I think this woman, I hope that she finds that.
Me too. I hope
Yeah.
we get to see them bowl together next episode.
And then name, I can't believe this isn't gutter or this whatever the hell was
Yes, wait, I have it in my
fantastic.
notes. Yes, I love it. Oh, I gotta find this in. Yeah,
I
I
can't
can't
bel
believe it's not gutter. Yeah.
yeah, so great. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Question, Sarah, if someone tries to enter the stall you're using in the bathroom, do you sort of like whoosh, roundhouse kick the door back into them?
No.
This plumber did not want to be seen. I'm wondering if it's because she's wearing coveralls and they were like all the way down to the floor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, also they had to make it dramatic so we could have a funny scene, right?
That too.
Yeah, but probably, like, yeah, it was a little forced, but yeah.
But worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was adorable.
The
Super
tampons, yes.
adorable. Rosie O'Donnell is just amazing, and I love her, and I think she's a pioneer, and I love that she has an opinion. Whether you agree with her or you don't agree with her, I love that she has not lost her own opinion, you know.
Oh, yeah. I've loved Rosie ever since I'm estranged from my dad, and he has always hated Rosie O'Donnell, and
Right.
mostly because he she sort of represents, I feel like, a lot of, homophobes, like, image of a lesbian,
Yeah.
and they hate and my dad just always hated her so much, it, like,
Yeah.
made me automatically love her, and also she's
Oh, yeah.
really talented, like, super
So
talented.
funny.
Did you see her in A League of Their Own?
Oh my god, did I see her in A
Oh.
League of Their Own? I mean, which time?
Right, yeah, the scene that episode that was really tough where the bar gets busted, her performance blew me out of the water.
It was amazing. Yeah, she has gravitas. She has
Mhm.
depth. She has a range of emotion. Yeah, she really like lended a lot of weight to that. And I think that was really part of what made this not just be like a fluff baseball. I mean, there was a lot more. I don't want to say fluff at all about the writing, but yeah, she definitely lended to the weight of the show.
Mhm.
And I think ultimately made it a very well-rounded show.
Yep. Well, back at the Alice show, Sophie realizes one of her dating show contestants is wasted. Oh my god, can I relate to this? And I'm sure you as a big producer in the Twin Cities, like how many times have you been producing a show and one of your comedians gets wasted?
Not too often,
Ooh,
but I usually know the ones that have the chance to get wasted, and I always put them at the top of the lineup.
nice.
I've learned my
Smart.
lesson because it
Right.
has happened to me.
Yeah. I'm probably thinking more of open mics. I feel like it happens more at open mics.
Yeah,
But
there's
Sophie makes the right call. Like drunk people, in my opinion, make horrible entertainment. Like they don't follow directions.
no,
And it was a cute way to get Taylor on stage.
it was adorable. Also, like I always think when people make films, like there's a reason for anything. Is it what do you think about, like, the oranges, and then Alice was wearing a very decidedly, like,
Mm.
orange suit. Like, were there any other, like, orange things in the episode? Like, what do you think they're trying to say? Or am I just, like is it just, like, pops of
Why
orange?
do you think I'm wearing this orange hat right now, Sarah?
Oh my gosh.
No, actually, I did not notice that. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I agree with you that maybe that was like a little bit of a,
It just seemed interesting that,
Mhm.
so close in the scene, like, she has this bright orange. I thought it was an interesting style choice.
Yeah.
And then the fact that she brought a bag of oranges, I was like, huh, I wonder if someone's trying to be fancy with their art.
I think you're right. I think there was some fancy art stuff
I
going
think
on
we have
there.
unlocked some fancy art. Dur, 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 dur.
As Ivy is asked to get Taylor ready, I noticed something on my rewatch. I noticed that they really have Ivy doing the opposite of what Tess is doing, where Tess is pushing Shane out of the picture.
Mhm.
Ivy is constantly like almost begging her, like, come work with me, do like multiple episodes. This episode, she's not even asking her. She's like, you're gonna help me get Taylor ready. We're doing this together.
Yeah,
It was so different from the Tess vibe.
yeah. Well, that's what I have to say about that. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
it reminded me of some good advice I've read that
Yeah, tell me.
couples who want to sort of keep the spark alive, they
Mhm.
should conquer new challenges together,
I've heard that.
instead of like trying to recreate old memories. Yeah, like
Yeah.
figure out stuff you can conquer together. Tess obviously did not read that article, but
No, no.
what did you think of Margaret Cho as the dating segment host?
Margaret Cho is fantastic. I thought she was a lovely add-on. I love that these celebrities are jumping on the show and giving it support and giving it weight and, bringing attention to it and that it's a worthwhile project. I thought she was really believable, fun, funny as always. She fit in fantastically. I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
love more Margaret Cho.
That was my only
Um,
complaint. I wanted a
that would
little
be my
more.
only complaint. Yeah.
Yeah. But she looks really good. Like, that girl
She
is like,
is looking fantastic. Yeah. Whatever she's doing, whatever sperm she's like putting on her face or, you know, it is working.
that's what they do in Hollywood. Uh,
Yeah, that's so I hear.
yes. So who out of the 3 contestants would you have picked? Because I know who I would have gone for.
I would have picked who she picked.
Oh, even
I
if she's not Joey Lauren Adams?
with a voice like that, yeah,
Ah,
I would have had to have. Voices really can turn me on. Like
okay.
they can really be a deal breaker for me. And like, yeah. So I would have gone for her from The Voice, but I will say, like, her answers weren't super, like, awesome.
Wasn't doing it for you? I
Yeah.
thought it was, like, funny that the show was acting like everything she was saying was like, and I was like,
I
"What?"
would agree. Yeah, I thought it all kind of fell short. You could tell she didn't really care about being there. She was like, I don't know. Haha, okay, here, can I go home now?
Right. "Do I have to do this?" I think
Hold
she
on.
literally said that right now, "Why do I have to do this?" Backstage, Gigi comes in and informs Danny, "I'm gonna go home," and then, I don't know, I thought it was interesting that, like, she just leaves partly through the show. Danny's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. At that point, I knew she was done. She had made
Mhm.
the decision that, like, I'm not invested. I just want to get out of here. Like, yeah, I thought it was a choice, and I thought the choice was not Danny.
Yeah, I agree. Some of the
Mhm.
fans it's interesting, a lot of people saw this scene as Danny breaking up with Gigi, and I think that is technically what happened, but it doesn't feel that way at all. It totally feels like
Yeah.
Gigi's breaking up with Danny.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, I think, we've all done that where I have done that too, where maybe like I haven't for sure known what I wanted, but I kind of do, but I kind of project things. And I think she
Mm.
has been projecting like, no, well, I'm going home with her.
That's what she does. That's what she did.
I mean, and then well, of course she broke up with you. Now you don't have to do the legwork on it. Oh, well,
Oh.
remember you broke up with me. I mean, I've been that bitch. I get it.
Oh, Sarah. Breaking
Yeah.
hearts left and right.
I mean, oh, no. I hope I haven't broke too many hearts.
No, I'm sure that, like, everyone I mean, I'm just saying you got some skills. You're able to get ladies to fall in love with you. Well, everybody to fall in love with you. And so, you
I
know.
don't know. I'm just adorable, it seems. I don't know. I'm really thankful though that I do have so many people that love me. And I do love so many people right back. And
You
you're one of
do.
them.
You're like full of love.
I am. Yeah.
So Tess has a sweet moment with her mother. We kind of talked about that. This reminded me of there's this old Dixie Chicks song and it's called Silent House. It's one of my favorite songs. It's also this really beautiful sad song about dementia. And I don't know, I was reminded of
Oh.
that when I saw this scene.
I haven't heard it, but I'm gonna listen to it now. I thought it was a very real scene and I'm glad that they did it. And I think I could relate with those scenes where you're like, wow, I am in a shitstorm, but for this second, it's not a shitstorm. And like, we can be who we were to each other, and I can just be present for a second and it will be okay. And I thought it was lovely that she didn't run out the door because, like, those are the moments in life that are like worth stopping for and like imagining. And I thought it was beautiful. Well done.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of let's see, you can Okay, so now we get the big Ivy Shane hookup scene. We've already talked about how hot it is. I did
Right.
want to point out before Shane goes into the room where Ivy invites her,
Yeah.
you can see on Shane's face, she's not just like, oh, I'm drunkenly, like she's considering things. Like she's thinking
Yeah.
through the consequences, and then she still does it.
She knows what she's gonna do. Probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
I thought this was the hottest sex scene of the whole season so far.
so far, definitely, I would agree. Yeah.
I
It
loved
was-
Bet and Tina, but oh my god, this like blue darkroom thing they had going on,
Wow.
and Ivy's like wife beater or whatever it was. Oh my god.
You know, and Bet and Tina were fine, but they do kind of feel like old news. Like we've seen them fuck many times.
Now the Tibbeters are wrecking.
And I can also tell the way they shot it that they're getting older, that it didn't seem as graphic. It was a lot of like quick and then
Yeah.
far away and then like good lighting. And I was like, probably would have been into it more if there was a little more grit to it. I'm like, let's not be afraid that women are aging.
Yeah, it's
But-
interesting you say that because a lot of people gave that scene props, like for showing, middle-aged women having sex.
Hey,
But you're
maybe I
totally
just
right.
want more middle-aged women. I mean,
Hey, me too. Okay.
that could be what's happening.
No, I agree. They zoom in on the hand, and that's great. That's hot, but it is less graphic than showing Shane's hand go into Ivy's pants,
Yeah.
bent over. Like, oh, we saw all the stuff with Ivy and Shane.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it was great. Yeah. I mean, it was good. I mean, again, part of us, right? We were like, it's what we wanted, Bet and Tina together, even if we're annoyed by it. But also, like, we all know that lesbian couple that is Bet and Tina.
We do. We're
I
very
mean, I've
familiar
been
with them.
them before. I currently am, but
Sarah, are we trying to get into that right now?
we are not talking about my personal life.
Okay, all right.
whatsoever.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I did not mean to delve into that.
But you just gave our listeners like a little bit more. They know you a little bit better
Now
now.
they know me a little bit better. Yes.
Danny starts throwing oranges at Gigi and Nat. Did you like that
I
choice?
thought it was like funny. And like, yeah, it was like, I don't think she had words. I think she was just like, okay, fine. And,
Yeah.
and for as far as lesbians go, I think that's tame. I mean,
Me too, Sarah. Me too, Sarah, because
yeah,
me and you have been through some stuff.
we've been through some things.
Yeah, some lesbians can be freaking
I will
crazy.
take somebody throwing soft oranges at my car.
Sarah's like, please throw oranges, please.
Right. All right. Follow up with you later.
Who comes to comfort Danny but Sophie? I was a little like, oh, okay, the friend group is all back together and everybody's all good.
It happens, right? I've been in this relation. I've been these people. Every single one of them I have been. I liked it. I didn't necessarily see it coming, but when it happened, I wasn't like, oh, this is out of left field. And again, I think maybe this whole arc is kind of like showing that with relationships that come back together and like how even though boundaries change, like there's still like a reach back or reach forward, It seems actually with like a lot of people on the show. So I kind of liked it. And I liked that they gave each other grace to be like, okay, We've both done some things. We both love the same person. We both know we're going to be in this person's lives. And also, hey, I dig you too. And I dig you too. Like, not like this digging, sexy singer, scissoring. But, like maybe we can just kind of squash this and like support each other right now and just accept that things have changed. When it can happen is fantastic. It's often, though, that one of the persons can't accept change.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I'm the jealous bitch in the group.
I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, that's okay, Amanda. I mean, I think you have props. A lot of people, like, me again, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm friends with so many of my exes and their children, or, and it's not messy really or anything. There's very few that I'm not. But
I love that.
I get that that's not for everyone. I can navigate a lot of things and boundaries and stuff. Not everyone can. And a lot of people just want to be like, nope, that's done. Bye.
Yeah. But I do think it was a good choice for the show
I agree.
because with Bet and Tina, they're like piecing out for a few episodes.
Yeah.
We need like something to stabilize this show.
Smart. Yeah, we do. It does kind of seem like everyone has a buoy right now. Like
Mm,
everyone has a lifeline.
yeah. Except Angie. She's kind of floating by herself until they come back from Canada.
But she seems like she's okay.
You're right. She's doing
Like she's
good.
got this.
And she's got her aunties, Shane
Yep.
and Alice, to help.
Yep. I could see that, Amanda. I wonder if we're going to have another scene with Angie where like all the lesbians descend upon her and like,
Oh, I hope so.
but she doesn't seem helpless. Like she really feels like she's stepping into adulthood and she's got this, even the tricky parts. So yeah, that's awesome.
I agree. Yeah. So Tess does not bust Shane with Ivy. I am
Mm-mm.
wondering, how does Ivy not come out of that room? Is she like listening against the door? Oh, her
Ivy's,
girlfriend's here.
this is not Ivy's first rodeo.
Oh, you heard it.
Not Ivy's first rodeo. Ivy knew what she was doing. She's smart. Even if she was not knowing that Tess was going to come, she's going to be professional because they work on the show and at least be like, okay, you go out. I'm going to take some time. Like, let's not have our business everywhere.
I
And she knows, I'm sure that Shane is with someone.
Okay, I
So
agree with you, but she does come out literally tucking her shirt back in or something like that. And Sophie
that's
totally
true.
bust her.
That's true. But I think that she knew I feel like she knew that Tess was gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was okay with letting that
Sophie.
person know
Yeah.
that, hey, there's a new sheriff in town. But I could be wrong. I mean, it could have just been blind luck too.
No, I think you're totally right that like maybe this isn't the first time that this has happened. Do you think Sophie's gonna spill the beans to Tess?
Hmm.
Because in the
Mm,
trailer for the season, we get a shot of, I think, Tess throwing something like a drink in Shane's face. So I'm thinking Tess finds out, and I'm thinking maybe it's from Sophie.
I could see it would be like the L word to have that happen because they're all too invested in each other's lives. Personally, I wouldn't be telling anyone anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But otherwise, I'm like, that's their business. I'm not getting involved. And I've been involved, and like the messenger is the one that always like the
Yep.
things do not go well. I'm like,
You
I'm
learned
not
that lesson.
condoning it. I'm not approving of it. Do you? But I'm not telling.
Well, Sarah, I have a question. We're getting towards the end of the episode here.
Yeah.
Small note, but I'm into food. What the hell did Finn do to that chicken?
Right? I know. My guess is, overcooked it.
Yeah, I mean it was crispy. It's just like, how do you do that and then present it as like we're supposed to eat this? At least when I burn stuff, I'm like, well, we can't eat this.
Finn like seems so feral and like also I think Finn would eat it, right? So if we're
Yeah,
gonna be Finn, like if Finn's gonna eat it, then they would also serve it to someone else. Like
yeah.
I think that's where they like are so cute and dopey because they do kind of like miss out on some social cues or this or that. But what I do love about them, even if it's like kind of maddening, like they are themselves 100% of the time.
Yes. So are you a Finn fan or like I feel like this poll is like Finn's a polarizing character, the fan base.
Sure. I mean, I'm not like, wow, but I could totally see myself like rooting for them. I
Mhm.
think there is something adorable about them.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh
they
yeah,
seem
Finn
like a
especially
hot mess express for sure. But like a heart of gold.
Yeah.
And like sounds like they have like and my heart does always like bleed for them, those type of people, and root for them. I've learned that I can't be the one to save everyone and fix them, but I could, yeah, I mean, I have a soft spot for Finn. I have to say I was rooting for the breakup with Danny, you know.
Really? I mean, I think everyone was, because like the show was showing that they weren't really that great together.
Yeah,
Danny and
right.
Sophie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm all for like friendship first and like kind of discovering that. And like sometimes you don't know until you're like, oh my God, my person's being taken away from me. Like, holy shit. You know,
So
I
are
thought it
you
was like kind of fun to watch. Now,
team
whether or not it'll be sustainable, that's really what I'm starting to question. I don't
I
think
don't think so.
that's happening, but I think they're gonna still like knuckle it at the end. Like that we tried it, we love each other, but like
I don't know. We have Maribel in episode 2 saying that they're toxic for each other. I don't know if that's the writers giving us a hint or what.
it could be. Also, Maribel is the sister, and sisters are fiercely protective and have a lot of. But yeah, I don't know if they're toxic or not. What do you think?
I thought that was like a little bit of an
It
exaggeration.
seems so.
I was just gonna
But
ask you if you're a Sinley stan. They're growing on me this season.
yeah, I've heard that from other people. Like, there's like a twinkle in their eye that like totally like makes my lady parts melt. Um,
Okay.
I know I would totally end up falling for that character.
For Finn or
So
Sophie?
Finn,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, I mean Finn's kind of your type. You're into the tomboy thing.
yeah,
Well, they Finn and Danny call a truce, and we end the episode with
yeah.
them getting back together as a friend group.
You know, I love it. I think it's great, and I hope that they can keep supporting each other. And I'm sure this is not the last coupling we'll see in
What?
this friend group.
Oh no, I feel like they already, because I'm pretty sure Micah is Danny's ex, and so they almost have all done
Oh,
every version. They're all each other's exes.
wonder if there's room for a hot three-way coming up.
Sarah, you put
What do
that in
you?
my head. You put that in my head.
I mean, I'm trying to think of how that would look, but like,
No, we already got our hot three-way. That was Nat,
yeah.
Gigi, and Alice.
And I don't know that Finley's character is like ready
No.
for all that.
Oh no. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what are your overall thoughts on episode 3? Did you think it was a good episode?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fun. We had some action. You know, I love that it wasn't about like the car accident the whole time. I love that we just like cut to it, found out she's still alive. Like, yes, we carried it through, but it wasn't like, you know, I love the introduction of characters. I love the movement. We got these stories moving. Got some action in this episode. So you need that to move things forward.
I really liked the episode too. And
Mhm.
even though a lot of people were not into it, I'm not
Is
with
there
you.
anything anymore that people are not into? Oh my god.
Well, I was gonna say, I understand some of the backlash because unlike you, I am not team Gigi and Nat. I ain't down with that. So I was disappointed when Gigi and Danny didn't work out, and the way they did it. I don't know why, but I still don't think it was like a trash episode, which a lot of fans did think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Sarah, there are so many Genie fans. Like they love Danny and Gigi.
I mean, I get it. Yeah. I mean, they're a great couple. I get it. Yeah.
Well, any
And they
other?
might come back together. Like sometimes
Oh, that's not happening. No, I'm serious, Sarah. I don't think you're aware of this
you
because,
have intel?
well, I feel fine. I've been talking about it for the last couple of
Yeah.
podcasts. Yeah, my understanding is, the reason they broke them up is because Sepideh Moafi is leaving the show. Gigi, the actor who
Oh,
plays
okay.
Gigi.
I could see that. Things are starting to happen for her.
Oh yeah, she's taking off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I saw her on a live the other day, and I honestly, I think it might have been the day the episode came out, and I thought she was going to be like talking about the L word, and instead it was somebody else filming her at some event, and she was singing like opera style.
Oh,
And oh my god,
wow.
she is so talented.
I'm not surprised. That's
Just
awesome.
she was walking around some event, walking while singing. Like that's not easy. Like
Oh, wow. No.
yeah, it was awesome. But also I was like, yeah, has she just like sort of gone beyond the L word Gen Q? I don't know.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever truly know what's gone down with the show and the cast. There's been some drama.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts on episode 3 or on the season so far?
I'm a fan. I'm glad it's back. It feels good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does feel good.
Mhm.
Well, I want to thank all the listeners for tuning in, and I especially want to thank my guest co host, Sarah McPeck, who is one of the funniest comedians on the planet. So make sure you go to the description, check out all her socials, which will be linked. You can find her on Instagram at Sarah McPeck Comedy, Sarah MCPECK Comedy. We did it!
We did it,
recapped the
Amanda. Oh my
episode.
gosh. It feels so good. I had such an amazing time with you.
Me too.
I love you so much.
I love you too. And I love us together.
I love us together too.
We
Oh my
have to do this
God.
again.
I can't wait till we do it again. I can't wait. I love this podcast, Amanda. It's just so much fun. And I love that I'm learning about all these young lesbians. Emily Stokes has been like, apparently, like there's all these Instagram lesbians and there's like all this drama, and I'm learning about it all. I can't remember what they're called, but I feel like such an I'm such an elder lesbian now. And
But that's
I'm
a
okay
respected
with I'm
status.
totally okay with that, but I still wanna have my ear to the ground, like,
I
I
got
wanna
you.
know. So
Yeah.
I might be hitting you up for some of the you're a good decade younger than me, so, when I need some help, you can,
I'll break it down. I'll let you
break it down
know
for
that.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
For
You're a
sure.
giver.
That's what I do. I give.
Okay. I'm just gonna stop right there, friend. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. And I'm so glad you came on the pod. And listeners, we will be back next week recapping episode 4. So make sure you're subscribed. And
You're there.
everyone, I will talk to you in a few days.
Hey, thanks so much, everyone.